Hello, crypto friends. The kind of rainy Saturday where you start the day with a Canadian MJ video in your robe and you end it with a crypto video in your robe. So we're going to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, XLM, BTC, and BCHSV. Same names we looked at in yesterday's video. Just a little bit of an update because things played out really well for the bulls. In the video yesterday, the basic point that I was saying is the bulls have to hold this low in order to give themselves a chance for a daily higher low and then continuation on the daily time frame of this bounce. And the low that we were looking at was on the 4-hour time frame. And fortunately for the bulls, the vast majority of individual names did hold that level, and that has led to some bullish follow through. Shorts on Bitcoin are beginning to close now, and they're still high, but they're starting to close. And the reason for that is because the odds of continuation increased fairly significantly today because we held that low of yesterday. So we have a daily inside bar to be watching. That's going to break likely tomorrow. We can see the volume dropping off in reflection of this tightening range. The 4-hour time frame. So this was the level that we were saying the bulls really want to hold, 38.69. We held it by $1, and then there's our clear bull break. So a tightening range, if we zoom in on the hourly to see how that exactly played out, it was a bit of an equilibrium. Well, you could call it a descending triangle as well, with our base of support, resistance level, double bottom, lower high, higher low, and then the bull break responding with volume very significantly to these multiple resistance levels breaking. Someone posted a question in the chat room earlier that said, are we bullish or bearish, and just polling sentiment in our community. And my answer was I have to be bullish when the hourly and the 4-hour exponential moving averages are support. And that's where we stand right now. So I have a slight favor on those bulls for the potential of their follow through on the daily time frame to see bounce continuation. The weekly candlestick is a bullish reversal candlestick into the close of the week. It's an inside bar as well. If we see daily continuation, we're just looking for a weekly lower high to be set. So that will zoom out our perspective if the bulls are able to see a bull break of 4,415, the top of this move. The setup into tomorrow right now is looking like we are going to have an equilibrium. Surprise, surprise. We've got our high of the bull move, low of consolidation, lower high was just hit, and now we're scouting for the 4-hour higher low to hold. The bulls would love to hold these exponential supports on the 4-hour time frame to keep that as support and form that higher low. That would favor them, again, for the bull break. If we lose that support level, we're just going to give it a good old-fashioned equilibrium watch and zoom out and patiently wait for the 4-hour time frame to break. So that's where we stand into tomorrow. Ethereum on the daily time frame is one of the names that did break to a lower low on the 4-hour chart. Just barely, hardly poked below it, but our support was down at 110.43. We dropped down about $1 below that level. Didn't see any follow through. Bulls showed up, and that's because, of course, sector leader BTC and the correlation with its bull break took ETH with it. Most individual names held their 4-hour support level. This is just an example where one of the names did not, but it did not see any bear follow through because of CGC. So if I were sitting here watching ETH and I'm playing ETH bearish and saying, all right, Dan's highlighting the importance of this support level, 110.43, it breaks, I make a bearish entry, and then I look at Bitcoin and say, uh-oh, Bitcoin hasn't broken yet. That's a red flag for myself as a bear because we want to see the sector and everybody going in the same direction to get that follow through. So I would have either taken a small loss or, exited that trade, obviously once the bull showed up. But just an example of how important it is to be watching the sector leader for clues on individual names as well. So we're going to be watching for a tightening 4-hour pattern here. We're going to look at 109.24 as support. Lower high on the 4-hour time frame is 119.77, and we're looking for a higher low to form compared to 109.24 as we backtest the 4-hour exponential support, similar to what Bitcoin is currently doing. We also have Bitcoin in these names testing the exponential resistance on the daily again. Not surprising, and it's not surprising that it's keeping the price rejected. Remember the 4-hour time frame, how many times we rejected from these resistance levels before the bulls finally got over them. So we are going to be continuing to monitor those exponential levels as well. So Litecoin daily time frame, it's not an inside bar because we got more bullish follow through. And again, Litecoin has been showing us in little incremental ways how it is a little bit more bullish than Bitcoin since the dump that we saw. And if you check the LTC BTC chart to see exactly how they're comparing to each other, we can see that over the past couple of days, or the past week plus, I should say, it has been favoring these Litecoin bulls. So if we look at Litecoin, same pattern. It's just a little bit of a different setup. 30.67. We held that support by 10 cents. A really good bottom fishing entry opportunity for those bulls, which ended up playing out. And we're looking at a lower high of 34.80, and the bulls trying to form a 4-hour higher low into tonight to see that range continue to tighten into tomorrow. My game plan, I still have a long position for Bitcoin of 10%. I am patiently waiting, 10% of my position left, I should say, after scaling out over 4,000. I'm patiently waiting for potentially adding on this 4-hour higher low. And if I added on the 4-hour higher low, I would put my entire position, I would exit if the low of consolidation to this point were to break. So it depends on what the setup is. I'm currently not really sticking to the computer much this weekend. That's another factor that might have me not add a bullish position. But if looking for daily continuation, that is a potential area to be looking for an addition. And we would have a stop to use here. And if the bulls do form a 4-hour higher low and see a bit of follow through convincingly, we could then move that stop up to that more recent 4-hour higher low. XRP on the daily time frame inside bar currently forming. The 4-hour chart is a bit different and just not as much significant follow through for the bulls. So comparing the daily chart, still far away from exponential resistance. The 4-hour time frame looking like our lower high was set at 383, and now the bulls are trying for that 4-hour higher low. But you can see if we get this bull break over 383, we have a long way to go up to 407. That's, let's see exactly how much follow through we would need. We would need another 6 to 7% to get up to that resistance level. And just comparing it to Bitcoin, if Bitcoin breaks its resistance right here, we need 3%, half as much distance. So the bulls would have more work to do to see a bull break of the top of the bounce at this point. That's a difference worth noting comparative to the sector leader of Bitcoin. But other than that, it is the same pattern, just from a bit of a different starting point. XLM-BTC, daily inside bar is forming, 4-hour time frame shifting momentum a bit and losing the higher low pattern if, I would say the most important support level is 3847. If that level is broken, we're going to zoom back out to the daily time frame and look for the daily consolidation begin to need to form a daily higher low. BCHSV, also a bottom fishing play, $85 support. We bounced off 87.34. So that is the support level to be watching. Still a clear lower high pattern on the 4-hour time frame that we were watching from yesterday's video. And it looks like a new lower high was formed at 96.69. So the options for the bulls are look for a 4-hour higher low and bottom fish $85, or enter on a bull break of 96.69, which would be a change in trend on the 4-hour and would indicate that our daily higher low has been established. And we would then look for a bull move up into the $110s, the $110 range. So that's what we're looking at. Pretty quick summary here as things are tightening up and we're patiently waiting. Nice job by the bulls yesterday, holding on, and again, giving some incentive for shorts to cover with this bull move that we did see up here after bouncing off the low of consolidation to this point. So 4-hour equilibriums, we'll check back in once those equilibriums do break. And I hope you all have a good rest of your Saturday. Do some good things out there. Got an important reminder of a Facebook post, says posted this 3 years ago. But it was my reminder of do good things that I've certainly shared before, of leaving good tips, or I should say good reviews of people at their workplace, because people are vast majority of the time getting negative reviews. It's going to take a lot more to incite someone to call in for a positive review. So if you see someone doing a good job, or they're friendly or they're hustling or whatever, talk to the manager, leave a good review, and that can have a significant impact on their workplace environment. Thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow. Maybe. So there I was, getting rejected by all these middle Bollinger Bands. Steep sheep.